Welcome to Cloud Solutions Podcast, where we simplify the world of cloud technology, one episode at a time.
All right, so today we're diving into data security on AWS.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, how to make sure your information is locked down tight in the cloud.
Right.
We're talking Amazon Elastic Block Store.
Okay.
Those are like the hard drives for your cloud servers and how to encrypt them, which basically means scrambling your data so only you have the key.
It's like having a digital safe for your most valuable information.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and AWS provides a blueprint for automatically encrypting these EBS volumes.
Okay.
Both new and existing ones.
That's really important, especially if you already have data out there that needs protecting.
Right.
So this guide isn't just for brand new setups.
No.
It's like a catch-all for your existing cloud storage.
Exactly.
Now, I get that encryption is key for a secure cloud environment, but can you break down exactly why it's so crucial?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine this. You've built a fortress around your data with firewalls and security groups, but without encryption, the data itself is still vulnerable. Encryption makes that data unreadable without the proper key.
So even if someone manages to slip past your other defenses,
Right.
they hit a wall when they try to access the actual information.
Exactly.
Right.
Encrypting new EBS volumes is straightforward, but with existing data, things get a little trickier.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, there's no magic button to encrypt everything at once.
So how do we tackle this challenge?
The solution involves creating a new encrypted copy of the volume.
Okay.
It's a bit like transferring your files to a brand new, super secure hard drive.
Got it.
To do this effectively, AWS recommends a multi-layered approach.
So it's not just about flipping a switch.
No.
What are the key elements of this multi-layered approach?
Imagine a system with built-in safeguards at every level.
Right.
You have your baseline account settings, then automated processes to catch any gaps,
Okay.
and finally granular control over who can access what.
Makes sense.
One of the stars of the show is AWS Config.
Okay, tell me more about AWS Config.
Think of it as a vigilant watchdog, always monitoring your AWS resources.
I like it.
It constantly scans for any unencrypted EBS volumes, flagging them for immediate attention.
So it's like having a dedicated security guard who never sleeps.
Yes.
Always on the lookout for potential issues.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
Now, when AWS Config spots an unencrypted volume, it triggers AWS Systems Manager Automation.
Okay.
This is where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
Systems Manager Automation kicks off the encryption process.
So if AWS Config is the security guard,
Yes.
Systems Manager Automation is the special ops team swooping in to fix the problem.
Exactly.
I like it.
First, it takes a snapshot of the unencrypted volume,
Okay.
like a quick backup, if you will.
Uh-huh.
Then it uses AWS Key Management Service, or KMS,
Okay.
to encrypt that snapshot.
Hold on, KMS. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Is that the super secure vault we hear so much about?
You got it.
Okay.
KMS is where you store your encryption keys, making sure they're incredibly well protected.
Makes sense.
Next comes the crucial part.
Okay.
Systems Manager Automation stops the EC2 instance associated with that volume.
Wait, stopping the instance,
Yeah.
doesn't that mean downtime for whatever's running on it?
There is some downtime involved, and that's why careful planning is crucial.
Gotcha.
We'll dive deeper into the real-world implications of that later on.
Okay.
But for now, let's focus on the process itself.
Sounds good.
So the instance is stopped,
Okay.
the old volume is detached,
Uh-huh.
and the shiny new encrypted copy is attached.
It's like a surgical swap, taking out the old and putting in the new, all while minimizing the disruption.
Precisely.
I like it.
And finally, the EC2 instance is restarted,
Okay.
and voila, your data is now encrypted.
Nice.
So we've got AWS Config as the vigilant watchdog,
Mm-hmm.
Systems Manager Automation as the special ops team,
Right.
and KMS as the super secure vault.
Right.
What other tools are in play here?
You're making this whole process sound like a high-tech spy thriller.
Yeah.
Okay, lay it on me. What other gadgets are we talking about?
Well, for starters, there's the trusty AWS command line interface, or AWS CLI for short.
Okay.
It's a powerful tool for interacting with AWS services using text commands, especially useful for those who like to automate with code.
So for the folks who prefer the command line,
Yeah.
it's their trusty sidekick.
Exactly.
Nice.
Then we have AWS CloudFormation, which allows you to model and provision your AWS resources using templates.
Okay.
It's a fantastic way to automate the deployment of your entire encryption setup without getting lost in endless menus and clicks.
So it's like having a blueprint for your entire security architecture that you can roll out with ease.
Exactly.
Now, we can't forget about Amazon EC2 itself,
Right.
the platform where your EBS volumes reside.
Of course, EC2 is the heart of the operation.
Right.
And lastly, we have AWS Organizations, which is crucial for managing multiple AWS accounts. It empowers you to centrally manage and enforce policies, including those all-important encryption policies, across your entire organization.
So it's like having a central command center for your cloud security,
Right.
ensuring everyone's playing by the same rules.
Exactly.
We've covered the what and the how of automatic encryption,
Yes.
but let's take a moment to really hammer home the why.
Okay.
You mentioned real-world implications earlier. What should we be mindful of when it comes to implementing this?
Remember that downtime we discussed during the encryption process?
Yeah.
That's a major consideration,
Right.
especially for those mission-critical applications that need to be up and running 24/7.
It's like performing surgery while the patient is still awake.
Yeah,
You need to be incredibly precise and minimize any disruption.
precisely.
Gotcha.
So if you're going to remediate those existing unencrypted volumes, strategic planning is key.
Okay.
Make sure to schedule it during a planned maintenance window and have high availability configurations in place. Think backups redundancy, all those essential safeguards.
So it's all about minimizing the impact on your operations
Right.
and making sure everything keeps running smoothly.
Yes.
But wouldn't it be great if we could avoid this whole remediation process altogether?
You're reading my mind.
Uh-huh.
The AWS Prescriptive guidance actually recommends enabling encryption by default for all new EBS volumes in your account.
Interesting.
Set it and forget it,
I like that.
eliminating any potential vulnerabilities from the get-go.
That's a proactive approach I can definitely get behind.
Yeah.
It's like installing a security system in your new home before you even move in.
Exactly.
Nice.
The guide even provides a handy script to make this process even smoother.
Oh, wow.
And if you want to take it a step further and really lock things down,
Yeah.
AWS organizations and service control policies are your best friends.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here.
Uh-huh.
Layers upon layers of security, like a digital Fort Knox.
That's the essence of a truly robust security posture. With service control policies, you can essentially prevent the creation of unencrypted volumes altogether.
Ooh.
It's like having a strict door policy at your data center, only allowing encrypted data to enter.
That's a powerful way to eliminate any accidental slip-ups or oversights.
Right.
Now, we've been laser focused on EBS volume encryption,
Yeah.
but I'm curious what other areas of cloud security could benefit from this level of automation and control.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it opens up a whole world of possibilities. Oh, security is not just about protecting data at rest. It's about a holistic approach that covers all aspects of your cloud environment. For instance, think about security groups.
Okay.
The virtual firewalls that control traffic to your EC2 instances.
Right. Making sure only the authorized personnel get through.
Exactly.
Okay.
Managing these security groups manually can be a real headache,
I bet.
especially when you have a large number of instances. It's easy to miss something or make a mistake, or automation swoops in to save the day. You can use tools like AWS Config to continuously monitor your security groups,
Okay.
ensuring they align perfectly with your security policies.
So it's like having a security expert constantly reviewing your firewall settings,
Right.
flagging any potential weaknesses or inconsistencies.
Precisely.
Gotcha.
You can even take it a step further and set up automated remediation to address these issues automatically.
Oh, wow.
Let's say someone accidentally opens a port they shouldn't have.
Uh-oh.
AWS Config will not only flag it,
Okay.
but can also automatically close that port, preventing any potential security breaches.
Wow, that's what I call proactive security.
Right.
No more frantic scrambling to fix things manually after the fact.
Exactly. And automation isn't just about reacting to problems.
Okay.
It's also about proactively strengthening your security stance.
Right.
Take AWS access keys, for example. Rotating them regularly is a crucial security practice, as stale keys can be a major vulnerability.
Because it's like leaving your house keys under the doormat.
Yeah.
Anyone could find them and gain access.
Exactly.
Okay.
Automating the key rotation process is like changing the locks on a regular schedule,
Right.
making it much harder for unauthorized users to gain access.
So we've got automated security group management and access key rotation.
Yes.
What other areas can we supercharge with automation?
Let's talk about patch management.
Okay.
Keeping your software up to date with the latest security patches is essential for plugging any potential vulnerabilities.
Because outdated software is like a welcome mat for hackers.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for those known exploits to be left unpatched.
You got it.
Okay.
Manual patching servers can be a time-consuming and error-prone process, especially when you have a sprawling infrastructure.
It's like playing whack-a-mole with security vulnerabilities.
Right.
As soon as you patch one, another one pops up.
Exactly. But with automation, you can use tools like AWS Systems Manager to automate the process of patching your EC2 instances and other resources, ensuring your software is always up to date and secure.
So no more late nights spent manually patching servers. Sign me up.
And the beauty of automation is that it's not limited to EC2 instances.
Oh, okay.
You can extend this to other AWS resources, such as databases and load balancers.
So essentially, anything that runs software can be patched automatically,
Right.
creating a seamless and efficient security blanket.
Precisely.
Yeah.
This brings us to another critical area where automation truly shines incident response.
Incident response. That sounds serious.
It can be,
Yeah.
but with the right preparation, it doesn't have to be a nightmare.
Okay.
Automation can dramatically improve your incident response capabilities, enabling you to react faster and more effectively.
So if there's a security breach,
Yeah.
you can automatically isolate the affected systems and contain the damage.
You can set up automated playbooks that define the precise steps to take in various security scenarios.
All right?
It's like having a virtual SWAT team ready to deploy at a moment's notice.
That's a powerful image. It's like having a 247 security team constantly monitoring and ready to respond to any threats. This is starting to sound a bit like science fiction. Are we really at a point where we can automate so much of our security?
Absolutely. The tools and technologies are available today, and they're evolving at an incredible pace.
It's exciting, but also a bit daunting.
Yeah.
It feels like we're entering a whole new era of cybersecurity.
We are. And in this new era, automation is the key to staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But let's not get lost in the clouds.
Right.
What are some practical tips for getting started with all this automation?
A great question.
First and foremost, you need a clear understanding of your security goals and policies. What are you protecting, and how much risk are you willing to tolerate?
So it's like creating a security roadmap, outlining your destinations and the routes you'll take to get there.
Precisely. Once you have a solid grasp of your security requirements, you can start exploring the vast array of automation tools and services available.
There's certainly no shortage of options, so choosing the right tools for the job is crucial.
Exactly. And don't try to automate everything at once. Start small, maybe with a well-defined project, and gradually expand your automation efforts as you gain experience and confidence.
It's like learning to walk before you run.
Right.
Mastering the basics before tackling the more complex maneuvers.
Perfect analogy. And don't hesitate to tap into the wealth of resources available.
Okay.
There's extensive AWS documentation, countless blogs, and vibrant community forums where you can connect with other security professionals and learn from their experiences.
It's always helpful to have a supportive community to guide you along the way. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the challenges and considerations that come with embracing automation, because it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Unfortunately, not one of the biggest hurdles is complexity.
Okay.
Automating security tasks, especially in a large and diverse cloud environment, can be quite intricate.
It's like trying to orchestrate a symphony.
Yeah.
You need to make sure all the instruments are in tune and playing in harmony.
Precisely. That's why a deep understanding of your cloud infrastructure and the automation tools you're using is absolutely essential.
And having a well-defined plan before you start automating anything is crucial.
Absolutely. Another challenge to be mindful of is the potential for errors.
Oh.
If your automation scripts aren't meticulously crafted and thoroughly tested, they can actually introduce new security vulnerabilities.
So it's like trying to fix a leaky faucet and accidentally flooding the entire bathroom.
Yeah.
Automation can backfire if it's not handled with care.
That's why rigorous testing of your automation scripts before deploying them to your production environment is non-negotiable. And having a rollback plan in case something goes awry is equally important.
So it's all about mitigating risk and having safety nets in place. What about the cost of automation? I imagine some of these tools and services can come with a hefty price tag.
That's a valid point. Some automation solutions can be quite expensive, so factoring that into your budget is crucial.
Right.
But it's important to remember that the cost of not automating, especially if it leads to a security breach, can be far greater.
It's like that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up this part, I want to emphasize that automation is not a magical cure-all. It's a powerful tool.
Right.
But it's just one piece of the security puzzle.
So it's not about replacing human expertise,
My
but
God.
rather augmenting it.
Precisely. You still need robust security policies, well-defined processes, and comprehensive security training for your team.
It's like building a house. Automation might help you lay the foundation and frame the walls, but you still need skilled architects, engineers, and builders to bring it all together.
A brilliant analogy.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the right balance between automation and human oversight, leveraging the strengths of both to create a truly secure and resilient cloud environment.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, we've explored how automation can be applied to various areas of cloud security.
Yes.
From EBS volume encryption to security groups, access, key rotation patch management, and even incident response. But before we move on, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about the potential for errors in automation, but what about the broader ethical considerations? As we increasingly rely on automated systems, how do we ensure they operate fairly and responsibly?
That's a crucial question to consider as we entrust more and more tasks to automated systems.
Right.
It's our responsibility to make sure they are not only efficient, but also ethical in their operation.
We want these systems to enhance our security
Yeah.
without inadvertently creating unintended consequences or unfair practices.
Exactly. It's like having a powerful tool.
Uh-huh.
It can be used for good or for bad, and it's up to us to ensure it's wielded responsibly.
So how can we ensure this responsible implementation when it comes to cloud security automation?
Transparency is a key principle. We need a clear understanding of how these automated systems work,
Okay.
the decision-making processes involved, and the data they rely on.
Right.
This allows us to identify potential biases or unintended consequences before they become problems.
It's like having the blueprints for a machine.
Yeah.
You can't troubleshoot or optimize it if you don't know how all the parts work together.
Precisely. We also need to be mindful of the data we use to train these systems.
Okay.
If the data itself is biased,
Right.
the automated system will inherit and potentially amplify those biases.
So it's not just about automation,
No.
but also about the quality and representativeness of the data behind it.
Absolutely.
Right.
We need to ensure that the data reflects the diversity of our users and the real-world environments where these systems will be deployed.
Makes sense.
This helps prevent discrimination or unfair treatment.
It's like building a bridge.
Yeah.
You need to use strong and diverse materials to ensure it can withstand the weight and variety of traffic it will carry.
A great analogy. And it's not just about the data.
Okay.
Human oversight is crucial throughout the entire process. We need skilled security professionals to monitor these systems, interpret their output, and intervene when necessary.
So it's not about replacing humans with machines, but rather creating a powerful partnership where each can leverage their strengths.
Precisely, human judgment and intuition are still essential, especially when it comes to ethical considerations and making complex decisions that require more than just data analysis.
So as we journey further into this world of cloud security automation, we need to be mindful of these ethical considerations,
Right.
ensuring transparency, data quality, and human oversight.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and refining our approach to ensure these powerful tools are used for good and contribute to a more secure and equitable digital world.
That's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
We've gone from the nitty-gritty details of encrypting your EBS volumes to the broader implications of automation and ethical considerations.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring the many layers of cloud security and the evolving landscape of automation.
And for you, our listener, we hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and tools to confidently navigate this complex world, securing your valuable data in the cloud while staying ahead of the curve.
Remember, security is a journey, not a destination. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and keep asking those critical questions.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.